What's up, everybody? It's your boy, World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about AEW Dynamite, August 28th, 2024 review. I am a bit under the weather. I've had a cold for the last 2 days since Monday night after doing the review of Monday Night Raw. Uh, I feel warm, like I have a slight fever or whatnot. Not sweating or anything, thankfully. But yeah, I'm really not feeling that great right now. And I'm not like super duper hyped up here. I will be here live tomorrow for the WWE Bash at Berlin preview and predictions video. Also providing you guys some bets that you guys might be interested in betting on off of betonline.ag. If you guys are interested in that, I'll give you guys the odds and so forth. If you guys want to go forth and try it, go for it by all means. I have a lot of fun doing it. I haven't lost once in my bets with betting on pro wrestling. Uh so yeah. Uh Dynamite tonight. It was a good show. Not bad at all. Some good wrestling here and there. Promo work was pretty entertaining. I thought it was solid. Um and Bryan Danielson though facing Jack Perry while Jack Perry's a TNT champion for the world title. I'm not too keen on that. I'm not a huge fan of that. Let me know in the chat if I'm coming in okay. Probably breaking up or whatnot. I need to get a new computer. This shit's old. It lags and whatnot. So I'm trying to buy a new house. So that's kind of causing me to wait on that. But if I end up backing out of the deal or something goes awry with the house, I'm definitely buying a new computer because this is outrageous. Uh, and so forth. But yeah, let's get in the review, guys. I don't want to be on here too long because, like I said, I'm not feeling too good, and I just want to tell you guys my thoughts and get up out of here and call it a night. Um, so if I happen to cough and whatnot or having problems, uh, talking or being energetic here, I do apologize. It is because I'm sick. So Matt 87 Eagle says, call me surprised. I thought AEW would go for a quick and done Bryan versus Christian at AEW All Out, but they go with Jack Perry. Yeah, I don't understand it either. I think he says that Jack Perry did beat Bryan, so it does make sense a little. Yeah, I'd agree with that, but he didn't earn a shot. We got two other people that are waiting in the wings for a world championship opportunity to earn the shot at becoming number one contenders. So we got three different number one contenders now. I don't understand why Christian Cage wasn't the guy that just came out and challenged him for the title. But obviously we know Jack Perry is going to lose this match without any shadow of a doubt. All it is Bryan just getting a revenge on Jack Perry for beating him in May for Double or Nothing. So yeah, I mean it's nothing too surprising to me. But yeah, I honestly don't know what to say about that. Just my personal feelings. I don't particularly care for this match. I will take Bryan Danielson though in the win. Uh, that's an easy W. I'm pretty sure though the odds will be extremely high on Bet Online, like in the minus 1,000s or higher. So, so it'll be very difficult to go ahead and to, bet on if that's the case, which I honestly think that's what's going to happen. Matt 87 Eagle says they must want to stretch Christian's title opportunity for Full Gear or Wrestle Dream. Matt, I don't understand that either. What's the point? We all know he's going to fucking lose. So what's the reason for him to even, you know, challenge challenge for the title that far in? That's to me that's just ridiculous. Anyway, John Moxley returned, and he made absolutely no fucking sense tonight. Just leaving us completely dumbfounded, not knowing what the hell he's trying to say to us in this promo. He had 2 promos tonight, actually. Moxley slowly comes to the ring, and he seemingly has a lot on his mind. Tony Schiavone asks John Moxley how he is doing, and he says he's been thinking about things that need to get done. Moxley says he wants to have a conversation with someone who is nothing like him, yet everything like him. Calls out Darby Allin and says it's time they had a talk. Moxley says that this is not your company anymore to Schiavone, which made absolutely no sense. I have no idea who the fuck he's talking to. Next up, backstage, Hook and the conglomeration discuss their upcoming matches tonight. Willow Nightingale joins the interview and names a Chicago street fight as her stipulation for her match against Chris Statlander at AEW All Out. Obviously, Chris Statlander is going to win that match. Next, we had Hangman Page versus Ishii. This was a good match, hard-hitting action throughout. Hangman Page, though, does pick up the victory, obviously. Very necessary win here, especially after the loss of not winning the gauntlet match. So, yeah. After that match was over, Strickland confronts Adam Page. Strickland interrupts Page's celebration and gets in his face. Strickland makes it clear that he's mad at Page for getting in his match at All In. He says he feels sorry for Page as he has become a petulant child, and that's driving him away from success. Strickland says he will always be referred to as a world champion, and this will always be Swerve's house. He says that Page failed. Page tells Strickland that he's not a champion. He calls him a piece of shit and brings up Strickland's breaking into his home, and he says Swerve never beat him on his own, which is all valid points. Page then says Strickland is not as good as him. He says he wants to face Strickland one-on-one, and Swerve suggests that they lock us in and keep everyone out. He challenges Page to a steel cage match at All Out. Strickland recalls seeing Page escort his wife to the hospital when he was about to become a father for the second time. He says that the man that Page was meant to be. Strickland says he needs to focus on the world title, and he says it will happen again. He laughs at Page for being so focused on him. Swerve says that Page's career is going in flames while he's trying to make Swerve's career go in flames. He's doing the complete opposite to his own career. He wonders what kind of man Page will be in the steel cage match. Page walks away. I didn't like the way they ended Page. He looked like he was putting his tail between his legs in this situation. I mean, either respond or just punch him the fuck out and have a full-on brawl. Something of that kind of nature. But making him walk away, I didn't particularly like that. I think the response would have been a little bit better. Attacking him, that would have just kind of gave away what we're expecting to see. You want to save that for the pay-per-view. So yeah, I think that was a missed call, I think, in my honest opinion. But the promo and the delivery of this match taking place was absolutely beautiful. I liked it. I just didn't like how they made Page look at the end of the promo. That's my only complaint. Jamie Hayter went one-on-one with Harley Cameron. Who gives a fuck? Jamie Hayter, of course, wins. Soraya hides behind Cameron and shoves her into Hayter. She then runs away, and Hayter celebrates. Jericho, Big Bull, Bryan Keith, and Roderick Strong discuss the fallout of All In and look forward to their match tonight. Jericho comments on his loss to Hook, and he says Hook finally took his advice. He takes credit for Hook's win, and he says he's proud of him. Jericho says they're going to make their opponents pay the price tonight. He also mentions about the fucking jacket that Orange Cassidy destroyed and ruined. Still to this day, 3 years later, he still brings it up, which I think is absolutely funny and humorous. But yeah, that was pretty much all that was said there. But honestly, Jericho needs to go, take a vacation, something. Go with Fozzy, do some touring or some shit, and just take a vacation for a while. Give us a break and let us just kind of miss you for a while until we are ready to see you come back and gain some more appreciation for you, because right now you're kind of in a slump, in my personal opinion. That's just the way I feel about Jericho. Okay, so MJF discusses his loss. He comes out to the ring. He says he's in a tremendous amount of pain. MJF brings up his loss at AEW All In and says he lost his ring, his championship, and has 2 herniated discs in his spine. He says none of the fans had his back. MJF says that he's going to denounce his American citizenship and he will no longer be associated with this garbage country. He says the only place that matters is the most magical place in the world, and that's Long Island. He denounces the fans for not showing him any respect. MJF says that AEW is a circus without him, and he says that he had Will Ospreay beat, and this isn't over. MJF says that Will Ospreay will come close to winning the world title one day, but he's going to cut him out at the knees. And MJF calls Daniel Garcia a bum and threatens to end his life, and Garcia attacks MJF from behind and chokes him out. We had security guards coming into the middle of this. This was beautiful. Great stuff. And Daniel Garcia, just the pure intensity on the mic by Daniel Garcia. I think this is one of his best promos I've ever seen Daniel Garcia cut in AEW. So, got to give him a lot of credit. Security guards come out and Garcia fights them. MJF attacks Garcia from behind. Garcia gains the upper hand. Security comes out and separates them. Garcia says he's pawned MJF's Dynamite Diamond ring. He brings up MJF taking him out and says he is obsessed with ruining MJF's life. Garcia reveals that he's talked to Tony Khan and he will face MJF at AEW All Out. MJF accepts the challenge, and then we get a 8-man tag team match. So there you go. Let me go back to the chat. Matt87 Eagle left 2 comments. Hi guys. I'm an old man with a tired and boring gimmick, and just won't go away. Kind of sounds like herpes. Anyway, Matt87 Eagle also states that Garcia ain't dancing no more. He's out for blood. That's what we need. We need that kind of Garcia. Fuck the dancing shit. This isn't cucaracha bullshit Mexico dancing, salsa dancing. This is pro wrestling. We want to see some fucking blood and guts. We want to see good promos. We want to see good stories. We want to see a rhyme and a reason for this shit to be on the air. Daniel Garcia's segment with MJF was definitely that. Most definitely. The best promo, the best purpose for Daniel Garcia to be on the show. Hopefully he resigns so he can continue this ladder of success that he's going to build off of MJF. I think that's one of the biggest things that Daniel Garcia needs. I think that's what Tony Khan is trying to do to get him to resign. And I think the best thing he can do by doing that is to actually stick with it after he signs him and doesn't just do this as a way of, as a hook to convince him, hey, you stay here, I'll give you a good story that will keep you going and make you relevant on the show. I think he needs to do that consistently, even after he signs the contract. Maybe challenge for the international title, the TNT champion. I would have him go after the TNT title, actually, and have him fight the Elite with Jack Perry. I think that would be a great match. Jack Perry and Daniel Garcia over the TNT title. I think that would be an awesome match. So yeah, I think the promo work by Daniel Garcia, MJF's promo, as usual, always does a great job. And they sold me on this match too. Two matches I'm interested in: Steel Cage with Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page and Daniel Garcia and whatchamacallit, fucking MJF. I love both of these matches being booked. I think they're going to be entertaining as hell. They're fresh, they're new. There's something that we have not seen. Well, actually, Hangman Page and Swerve is something new, but inside of a steel cage match, totally different stipulation. So it should be fun. And it makes sense, not to mention. Okay, so All-Star 8-man tag team match. Hook and the Conglomeration with Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Mark Briscoe face Chris Jericho, Hook, Big Bill, and Roderick Strong. This match, honestly, I did not pay attention, did not care. Hook actually ends up winning the match for his team by submission against Roderick Strong, and that's it. Two teams brawl after the bell. Undisputed Kingdom gangs up on Hook. Security comes out to break up the brawl. A lot of brawls taking place tonight. Definitely a lot of brawls. A lot of security guards getting their ass kicked. I think there's going to be a lot of fines being dished out for this episode. Storyline purposes, that is. Strong poses with the FTW Championship. My God, can we please give up with the fucking FTW Championship and just retire the fucking belt and give it back to Taz, who rightfully owns it? And that was his championship. That should have never been in anyone's hands. Plain and simple. TBS champion Mercedes Moné holds a party to celebrate her win at All In. Private Party joins the party, and they bring up her match at New Japan Pro Wrestling Capital Collision. Isaiah Cassie hits on Mercedes, and Okada interrupts. Mercedes asks him how to say bye, bitch, in Japanese. He whispers it in her ear, and she says, "Soyar, bitches." Okay, great. Next up, Mariah May celebrates. Not much of a celebration outside of exposing herself with lingerie on her body and the championship belt wrapped around her waist. She wanted to have a legitimate celebration, not in the shitbag town that they were in, apparently. She didn't like the town, so she prefers to do it next week. Whoop-de-fucky-do. Here's what she says. She comes out, says AEW Women's World Champion celebration has been postponed. She insults the city of Champaign and takes shots at the crowd, saying that they need some more glamour. May says she's going to take her robe off to show everyone what she means. She reveals her outfit and the AEW Women's World Championship. May says that's enough and covers up and walks away. Great. Whoop-de-fucky-do. So we're getting a tease for all you horny single bastards to go ahead and, have a pipe dream like you do with Liv Morgan, being jealous of Dominic Mysterio, of course. And, kind of just dreaming that you could be with her. But I got a wife, so I don't give a fuck about that shit. In a backstage promo from All In, the Young Bucks interrupt the Grizzled Young Veterans. The Grizzled Young Veterans say they sent a message to the tag team division. They're here to stay, and they're coming for the titles. They say they'll see the Young Bucks soon. Really? So they don't have to try to do anything. They don't have to, work real hard to get to the championship, get W's, earn a bunch of W's, and then be crowned number one contenders. They're just the number one contenders right off the bat. Okay, that makes tons of sense if you're out of your fucking mind, but okay. Backstage, Grizzled Young Veterans look forward to facing the Outrunners on AEW Rampage. Oh my gosh, we're going to all be excited to watch the Young the Grizzly Young Veterans wrestle their first match on Rampage that nobody fucking watches. Literally nobody watches. I think TNA Impact probably has more viewers than a Rampage or a Collision. I mean, Collision, I'll say Collision's got more viewers than TNA Impact. But Rampage beating TNA Impact, I don't think so. Who the fuck wants to sit and watch 1 hour of just random wrestling that has no stories and no purpose on the show? I don't. That's why I don't watch Rampage anymore. Anyway, backstage, backstage, Grizzled Young Veterans look forward to facing the Outrunners and warn anyone and all opponents to grit their teeth. Wow. Whoop the fucky do. So we get Ricochet versus Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher, as usual, loses. Ricochet wins the match with a lifting reverse DDT called Vertigo and gets the win. So Will Ospreay comes out while Ricochet is celebrating. He's about to say something, but Pac attacks him from behind, and Pac tells him not to forget about him, not to forget about the bastard, and he welcomes Ricochet to AEW and tells him to go to the back of the line. He says Ospreay belongs to him. Ricochet comes up the ramp, and Pac leaves. So then we have Jon Moxley backstage for a second segment of the night, making absolutely no sense, and I don't quite understand the fucking point of this shit. Moxley is asked about what he meant earlier. He says, "You shall not cast pearls before swine," taking lines out of the Bible. He grabs a security guard and he says, "I guess I'll go ahead and throw one pearl before a swine," in this case. And Marina Shafir, who can't wrestle worth a continental shit, attacks the guards. Moxley calls this a lesson in humility. Wow. And the acting in this was absolutely fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. I thought this was garbage. But anyway, last segment on the show, which was the main event, we had Bryan Danielson announcing his future with AEW. He mentions that his contract's up. He had the greatest time in his career. It was one of the best moments he ever had in his career, and I'd have to agree with him in the sense that it tops WrestleMania 30 because of the fact this is technically his last run, his last world title run, and when he loses this title, he will be retiring. I think Bryan Danielson might have a decent reign here. I don't think it's going to be as short as everyone think it's going to be. I think he's going to remain champion by World's End. And then I think by World's End, he will no longer be our champion and he'll be retiring and going off into the sunset. Who beats him? Probably Swerve Strickland, and they'll be giving the title back to him. And then we'll work our way to a match between Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland one-on-one. And then after that, we'll probably see Swerve and Will Ospreay again in a rematch, probably a Double or Nothing as a rematch from what they did last year at Forbidden Door. And MJF is going to be the guy to fuck him over. That's just my prediction. Just like he said originally. And then we'll probably have a triple threat match, and MJF is going to become the world champion next year. And I think by that time, Strickland's going to work his way back into the title picture. He'll probably win it at, I'd have to say, maybe Full Gear. That's when I would probably say Swerve wins the title back. I don't think he's actually going to win it when he gets immediate rematch. Well, no, wait. What am I talking about? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Swerve Strickland is going to win the title at World's End. And then he's going to face Will Ospreay in a rematch, probably at either Forbidden Door or Double or Nothing. I'd say Double or Nothing would be the best place. It's got the best slogan towards that match. And then at that point, we're going to see MJF interfere in that match. Forbidden Door, we're going to have a triple threat match, or maybe at all in. We'll see that triple threat match take place. And since that will be in July. And then we'll probably see MJF win the title from Swerve Strickland, and then MJF and Ospreay will go at it at some point where Ospreay is going to win the title and win his first ever world championship. That's what I think is going to happen, and it'll probably happen at Full Gear more than likely to give MJF a respectable title reign. That's what I think is going to happen in this case. So that's just my overall prediction on the championship run leading into the future here. But Bryan Danielson, he pretty much mentioned he ain't retiring until someone can beat him for the title. And he said it all out. He is welcoming anyone first come, first serve for a challenge for his championship. And who is willing to step up? And it's Jack Perry. Jack Perry attacks him from behind from after announcing on the Titantron that he's going to go ahead and challenge him at All Out and beats him down to a blithering pulp, and then holds both the TNT and World Championship up in the air over his head. And that's how the show goes off the air. Again, it makes a little sense. He beat him in a arena, Anarchy and Arena match at Double or Nothing this year. But still, I mean, in all honesty, does anyone expect him to win? Of course not. This is just a filler match. But I was more leaning towards a Christian Cage match with Bryan Danielson. I think that would have been a lot better. And then we move on to something else. But based on what they're showing us here, it seems like Bryan Danielson should have a decent run throughout the whole fall leading into the winter. I think by December at World's End, he will be losing that world championship. That's when I think he's going to lose the title. And it's going to be to Swerve Strickland. So that's just my viewpoint, my prediction there. Anyway, last comment was how Matt 87 Eagle says, how was this an all-star match? I was bored from bell to bell. I totally agree with you. I barely even paid attention to this shit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say at this time, guys. You know what to do. Hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. I thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.